How's your day going, Loofa?
Um, it's going. It's going.
Did you have an appointment?
It did.
How'd that go?
Um, I have no clue. I feel like it could have gone better, but yeah. Well, I knew what he was gonna say about the Concerta, which is the stimulant medication. Um, he's not a fan of it. He wants me off of it completely, basically. Um, but I'm not doing that. So, uh, he's increasing my Breviac to 75 milligrams. Um, and he was like, if that doesn't work, then we're gonna try Depakote. And I was like, no, we're not. We're not doing that. We're not trying Depakote. I'm okay. I've been on Depakote before, and I was not a fan of it. I was on it for different reasons, but I was not a fan of it from what I literally found the bottles of it in the basement, like 20 bottles of empty and full Depakote bottles.
What's your
But
favorite and what's your least favorite? My
medicine that
favorite,
fit
my
on.
favorite is lamotrigine, and my least favorite is Kepler.
Well, epilepsy wise, my favorite is clonazepam, and my least favorite is lamotrigine.
Why? Why don't you like lamotrigine? Didn't work for you?
It did the complete opposite. It actually has the complete opposite effect for me and my epilepsy than it would for somebody else's. It has for the myoclonic, it actually increases the seizure threshold for that, then decrease it.
You
And
think
that's
it's
the
doing the
one
same thing for me?
they kept increasing that one. So, in an effort to get off of it, I took the entire bottle, um, and managed to get off of it. I don't recommend that.
Me either.
Yeah, I had to get Narcan twice. Don't recommend that.
That does not sound fun, Loofa.
No,
You make
I
it
just
sound
remember
cool, but for
I
some reason.
remember like literally on my hands and knees climbing down the stairs to the paramedics because I called them like I just took my whole bottle of lamotrigine and it's like 500 milligrams a tablet or something. It was pretty high. 700? I don't know. She was a hefty dose.
So, Loofa,
And
I
it
never
was
got to really know you. What's your story?
um
How'd you get epilepsy?
I actually asked the doctor that today and I asked if it's could have been genetic and he said it could be but it could also I could also just have bad luck basically is what he said. So, I think I just had bad luck. Because he said that if you have like a gene for epilepsy, it's about a 5% chance of getting it. Um, and if you don't get it, then you don't pass the gene down, I guess, is how he kind of explained it. But I don't know if I don't know. I hear so many different things. I don't know. I asked him if it could be from like hereditary. Uh, but he basically said no, and I just had bad luck. So
You ever been hit in the head with anything?
no,
Lucky you.
no,
Um,
I was
what's
born
that?
with it. He said I was most likely born this way. Lady Gaga style.
Lucky us, huh?
What?
Said lucky us, right?
Yeah.
I got something. It says, I fear epilepsy has ruined my brain too much to study anything. I spent this year doing a PLC to get into vet tech, nursing vet. As the results, days got closer. I get more anxious as I realize I don't know if my memory is good enough for studying 3 years. I can barely study towards the end of the PLC. My ADHD doesn't help, but I also just really struggle with remembering things under the fear of I'm going to accidentally waste thousands for something I won't be able for. Has anyone else ever felt similar or going through something similar to this? Yeah, I
Yeah,
have. I
I
did
want to
some
get my
testing.
GED.
That's what I tried to do. Um, it sucked because
Yeah, because it's like none of the information is valuable, and then I feel like I'll put myself through so much getting the GED that when it comes time to get what I actually want, I'm gonna be like completely burnt out.
I was gonna say it sucks for other reasons.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna say it sucks because I forgot what I was talking about. What were we talking about again?
Oh, they're trying to get they are scared they don't have the memory.
Oh
Well,
yeah, about the GED. So
yeah,
I did that, and the thing with remembering stuff is it just doesn't work. It's let me say that it doesn't work. So I had to read the passage and then I had to answer like 20 questions in 40 minutes. I read the passage, then I go back to the questions, and I don't remember anything I just read. So then I read the passage again, and I go back to do the first two questions, and I got those. And then I forgot everything that I read.
yeah,
So I had to read the passage again, and then I think I ended up getting two more questions done. And by then, I was like, 40 minutes is over. You got 2 minutes left.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like two
Not
minutes left.
a great system, sure. Boy,
Yes.
my doctor today kept he was kind of annoying me. But he kept saying he was like since I don't have like grand mal seizures as often as I would the myoclonic seizures, he was like, well, it's not that debilitating. But I was like, what are you talking about? Well, I literally with the myoclonic seizures, I can't move. I'm awake and I can't move because I can't control my body. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? What do you mean it's not debilitating? It's like, well, but I don't know. He says that he's got hope for my brain because it will develop. He kept saying it wasn't debilitating, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it is.
They say you have JME.
Yeah, I asked about why it's junior, and he said that because it starts in childhood. Um, and that's why it's junior because it's wasn't brought on by anything. I was just born with it. I was just born epileptic.
Yeah. Um, I got in my car accident at 5 years old, and I had a seizure back then, and then I didn't have any more until I was 16 in high school. And I had one in class. And then a few days later, I had one in class, the same class, because it was web design class. And Yeah, they blamed it on the computers, but they were like, "You have epilepsy." Um, and I just went home and really never talked about it or anything. It was just like, "You have epilepsy." Whatever they talked to my mom about, she talked about. It was just like, take these pills and just one about life, and
Here, eat this.
that's how that happened.
Well, they they tried to they tried to. I've basically been sick my whole life, but they tried to give me like antipsychotic medication when I was 2 and say that I was bipolar, which is kind of nuts. I did end up being bipolar, but they were trying to put me on medications and stuff. Thankfully my mom said no, but it definitely makes sense. And like the way that I was as a kid to and in school and stuff, how like sick I would get or like ill, but like there was no kind of meaning behind the illness and it was always in like my head, so to speak. Um, which would explain why it was the epilepsy.
Did they ever tell you it was PNES?
Well, when we finally went up to them, well, when I had my seizure in front of them finally, um, that's when they believed me. But I don't know, I guess that some brains just don't form correctly and get epilepsy. And I happen to be one. But they say that people with autism are 30% more likely to get epilepsy. But
Really?
I don't know. I seem to get all the bad traits of the family, which kind of fucking sucks. But
Yeah, I read somewhere that 30% of people with autism get epilepsy.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
I just keep hitting the. I just keep making the percentages.
yeah. I don't know how they get those percentages, but
I don't know. What fucking study did they do about that?
I don't know. Reddit, you might see anything.
Why is it prevalent?
Oh, I got something, Loofa. It says I sleep too much and it's hurting my relationship. My relationship is amazing. My husband loves me so much. This is not a complaining about the significant other post. I will sleep in late with zero recollection of being woken up numerous times, and I fall asleep in the afternoons while he's working. This is our first great summer in like 6 years, and I'm temporarily off of work. He feels like I'm wasting it. I do get a lot, but after I sleep, I'm on a bunch of drugs, and this has always been a bit of a problem, but it's gotten worse with cino, cino, cinabim, cenobamite, bonite. Yeah, we'll go past that.
Cinnamon.
Cinnabomit, that's what it looks like, which has worked wonders on my seizure frequency and intensity. I don't know. It's just when I get in trouble, my words after my words after every nap. When I get in trouble after every nap, as I am a lazy butt, or this is I've been an epileptic for 31 years type thing.
Hmm. Um.
I wouldn't say you're lazy.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say you're I'm lazy. Oh my God. Um.
I wouldn't say it's a 31-year-old thing. I mean,
I would also say like the medications just make you tired. Like most medications make you tired. And I found like anything seizure related medication wise makes you like Breviac makes me exhausted. And it's mixed with a benzo, so it just makes me even more tired. And like I'll do something and then like I'll work out for like an hour and a half or maybe like an hour, come home and then I pass the fuck out for like 5 hours and then wake up for a little bit and then go back to sleep. But yeah. I feel like I've slept most of my life away.
Me, I don't know. I sleep a lot. Before I like start paying attention to my health, I was sleeping a lot and just wasting some time. But also, I wasn't understanding the myoclonics and the focals, so I was going through that and tired of that shit mostly. And yeah, once I got that shit in order, figured it out. Like this is what's going on. Now I know this is a seizure, and I'm not just actually tripping or doing this or sweating because of nothing or something.
Yeah, I don't know how to wake up. I feel like I'm always tired.
Yeah, that's why I had to start putting my pill bottle away from the bed because if it's close to the bed, I'm gonna take my pills in bed and I'm gonna stay asleep. Um,
Yeah, I as much as the doctor wants me off of my ADHD medication or lowered, I would not function without it. Like I'd just sleep all day because that's what I did before. I would just sleep all day. 1 second, my mother is calling me.
rescue medication. Hey everyone, I'm from Belgium and I live alone. About 6 days ago, I had a cluster of seizures bad enough that they had to call an ambulance in less than a month. I'm supposed to go on a long trip with jet lag and all, and I'm starting to feel pretty anxious about the risk of having another episode while I'm alone or traveling. I was thinking about asking my neurologist for some kind of rescue medication, something I can keep at home in case I feel a seizure coming on, and ideally something that someone else could give me if I'm already having a seizure. I'd also want to bring it with me while traveling. Is it reasonable to ask for that? Has anyone else ever done this? What kind of meds have you prescribed? Have you been prescribed for situations like this? Thanks in advance. I have nasalium. I never used it, but it's there. So,
I don't got shit.
huh?
I don't got shit.
You don't have no rescue med?
Mm-mm. If I'm down, I'm down.
Yeah.
It's I told my doctor was all about like exercising. He's like, you don't need the concerta. Concerta's bad. Um, you need exercise. And I was like, motherfucker, I swim. I've been swimming. And he's like, oh, that's a great exercise. He got so excited. And I was like, yeah, but that doesn't fix my ADHD. The fuck? Um, but he's like, just make sure somebody's there to watch you and all this other shit. And I was like, well, I mean, at least if I have a seizure, I'm doing something I enjoy. He's like, well, it's not like the most ideal place to have a seizure. I was like, no, it's not an ideal place at all to have a seizure. It's like the least ideal place to have a seizure, obviously.
I don't think any place is ideal.
Oh,
What
but
is your
being,
favorite place to have a seizure?
I mean, it would, fuck, my bed.
I don't have a favorite place. Yeah, actually, yeah, my bed would be a good place.
My bed. Most of my seizures, no one's around for. I think it's kind of I never realized that people should be around for like your seizures. I thought it was normal to have like seizures by yourself all the time.
I don't have a lot of people around when it happens.
Yeah, no, I usually I'm by myself.
It does happen a lot in front of people, but like you said, it's been happening alone lately.
Yeah, I think mine happened by myself, and then yeah.
My
Oh,
most recent, my little sister was there, so I don't exactly remember all that one, but I know they sent me to the hospital.
well, I was thinking like if I would have a seizure and it went on longer than it was supposed to, and I'm where I'm usually at, which is at home, no one would find me for like hours. It'd be a while. So I'd probably die.
Really?
Yeah, I'd probably die. I have a more probable chance of not getting checked on and dying. But I have not died, so
I'm hoping you don't.
yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, it's just me and my seizures. I am the only one watching them. Unless someone else is there, then they have to watch it. But usually, usually I'm by myself.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been like that lately, but I'm trying to get over it. So let's not cry about it.
Well, I was a good cry about it. It is, but there's a lot of other shit I could cry about.
Okay.
Someone not being around for a seizure is not one of them. That's not my problem. If I die during the seizure, that's not my problem. That's yours now. You got to pay all the expenses and shit. I'm dead. But chilling.
You went to college?
What?
You go to college?
No.
Look at, I was just talking about this. I was gonna say the shirt.
Oh no, my grandpa did. He
Oh,
went to Cornell.
nice.
Smart motherfucker. He's smart.
Um, we got something else here. It says, anyone have epilepsy and PNES? Hello, I'm scared. I've been diagnosed with epilepsy for 15 years. Showed seizure activity on an ECG as recently as 2 years ago. So there's no question about the diagnosis. Last night, I had an event the doctors think was PNES. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Got the strong dissociative feeling I typically get before a TC and started jerking. Went to the hospital immediately, but it lasted for 45 minutes. I've had a very similar but less intense incidents where I felt auras coming on. And when I'm in public settings, that remind me of places where I've had a seizure before. Of course, these auras never progressed into anything. I just finished grad school, which was 3.5 years of level of chronic stress that I'd never encountered before. I also had a huge uptick in TCs during it, which were often traumatic. So all this makes sense on paper, seeing my neuro in a couple weeks. Just wondering if anyone else has had both. What did the treatment look like?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think psychogenic non-epileptic seizures are a joke. Um, if you're having seizures, it's just epilepsy. I feel like it's really just epilepsy. Just like having a psychogenic problem with your uterus that doesn't exist. That's not real. Um, it I think that your mental health can definitely trigger your epilepsy. I think that mine does sometimes. Um, I have really bad anxiety, so and PTSD and um amongst other things, and it's a lot to deal with. And sometimes I feel like because of like I have panic attacks a lot. Um and I tend to hyperventilate and it feels like I'm gonna pass out and have a seizure, but I don't. Um but I think stress and whatnot is definitely just a factor that can cause an epileptic episode. I don't necessarily believe in the psychogenic seizures. I I think it just doesn't really make sense to me.
I heard someone say, um, can you tell the difference from a panic attack and a seizure? I forgot
Yeah.
what kind of seizure.
Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference. I asked my doctor today, the only thing I couldn't tell the difference was disassociation and focal aware seizures. Um, and I told him like when I disassociate, I typically I'm in a space that has triggered something, um, or whatever. Uh, and my head is trying to get out of that space, but um there's a different feeling where I feel like just like I can't speak or anything for a few seconds, and I can't move and my head is just blank and empty, and I'm not like confused but I'm not there. And he said that with my type of seizures that's common. You would see ones like that or like ones where like I would faint from like heat, um and kind of forget where I am but not fully get out of it. But with a panic attack, it's like I feel like people confuse the term panic attack and anxiety attack up. Um, because like an anxiety attack is just it's less than a panic attack is. A panic attack is like your body goes into fight or flight and you're hyperventilating. Usually, you got like spit flying out your mouth and like your eyes are watering, you can't breathe, there's snot coming out your nose, it feels like everything is gonna blow up, the room is shrinking in on you, and
I don't remember any of that. By that time comes, I'm gone.
yeah, no, that's a panic attack.
Oh,
So that stems from like a anxiety or a panic disorder. So I have like anxiety and PTSD, and it comes with like panic disorder. And if I have like a moment of PTSD or something, or anxiety is like too much, and I have a panic attack, that's completely different than like a seizure. It's it's like I don't know, it feels like you're running for your life while you're sitting on the floor in a cradled position in a corner trying to protect yourself. It's very odd.
I was gonna say sounds like that, but that sounds really hard to go through, especially alone.
Yeah, well, it's easier to go through a panic attack alone, in my opinion, than it is with someone else. Because then other people, it's like they feel like demons around you. Um, but that's a mental health thing. That's not epilepsy. And there's a difference between that.
Okay. This person needs advice, Lufa. 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 It says, I give up on Kepra. This April, the doc put me on, put me up under Kepra. And since then, I'm dealing on and off with depression, but I still keep it as it is the most efficient meds I took until now. I lived the past 2 weeks in hell with more depression and suicidal thoughts than usual. Tomorrow I will have an appointment with the doc and I'll ask him to stop it completely. I'd rather deal with a seizure than depression. Am I wrong for this? No, you're not wrong. If you think you're going to hurt yourself, tell that doctor. And there's something better always. There's always something that's not going to make you feel like that.
Put them on Breviact.
Yeah, if that one is.
People have been happy with Breviact from what I've read. So, try a different medication. I mean, there's other medications out there. What? I didn't even know.
Yeah, and if that doctor doesn't want to listen, find another one.
Yeah.
It's always a second opinion. See some of these comments. The first comment says, Kepler was terrible for me. Thankfully, my husband is a pharmacist and he was picking up those same symptoms immediately and demanded my neurologist to get me switched to something else. It's so tough for all of us. So sorry. Lady, you are lucky.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Got somebody there who's gonna know the medication and know the side effects. Nice.
Yeah.
Next comment says, Kepler was terrible for me on oxycarbazepine currently, and I feel much better. Honestly, the frequency of my seizures have gone down from bi-monthly to every 4 to 5 months. Very happy with the switch.
Yeah, I am glad to be off Kepra, but I definitely gotta figure out some other. Kepra sucks.
I got another one here. It says increase of medication dose equals increase in seizures. I've been going through medications. I've had good luck with no auras until today. When I changed Excopri from 150 milligrams to 200 milligrams, is it possible that to have increased seizures activity with an increase in dosage? My doctor is out of the office this week, so I cannot correspond this with him, but would like to see if anyone else had similar experiences. I never took Excopri, and I heard it's one of those that just make you look ridiculously tired from what I've seen on people personally. I've seen people look like they were just looking there and just not there. Or really tired and not saying anything, but just looking.
Yeah,
Excopri?
I've never been on that, so I don't know anything about that one. But I don't know if it would increase the seizures. If it is, and that sounds like a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the first comment. It said I started off taking 1,000 milligrams of Keppra twice a day. And for the first couple of months, I didn't have any auras, but last month I started having them more frequently, and my dose was up to 1,500 milligrams twice a day. I do know that when you're adjusting to medication, you can still have auras, but they should dissipate. Otherwise, if they're more frequent, I would contact your neurologist. I'm sorry to hear you're dealing with the auras. No fun. Western, no fun.
Yeah, I would definitely say something, because shouldn't be increasing it.
There's someone here says, I'm on the same, but only up to 100 right now, and it increases to 150 in a week and 200 into 2 weeks. I always feel off And a few days after the increase, I was told it makes you more aware when you're going to have a seizure, which has been the truth for me.
Or
I'd like to know when a seizure is coming.
yeah.
I don't have any signs or auras, or I just
I
wake up
usually,
and
yeah,
surrounded by paramedics, or
that's how mine are. I
most
usually
of the time
wake
surrounded by
up.
paramedics.
Yeah, I just wake up with a really bad headache, and because there's a difference between like migraine headaches and seizure headaches.
Yeah, nobody knows, nobody will ever understand the difference, and there's a big difference.
They're so painful.
Yeah, that postictal headache, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to shake it.
Mm-mm. Not until it goes away.
Yeah, the only thing that works for me is go to sleep, and sometimes it's hard to do that.
I usually just sleep, take a shit ton of um Excedrin, migraine, and sleep. I'll take Excedrin PM too, which I know is probably not great, but it does the job, so I don't really care.
I take, I had something for sleep, but yeah, they tried to give me something for insomnia, but it was just another pill with bad side effects. So I decided to say no. Yeah, they didn't check the side effects. They don't ever check the side effects of the stuff they give you. They just tell you to take it.
Sorry, I'm putting stuff away. I asked my doctor if because I had a reaction to a medication. It's a rare reaction called tardive dyskinesia, and one of the other medications when it came to like antipsychotics or antidepressants, it I saw that one of the rare side effects is tardive dyskinesia, and I asked my doctor today if I should take the medication and try it because I'm already susceptible to tardive dyskinesia, and that's a rare side effect, and it's a really, really shitty side effect. And he also was like, you don't want that to linger around in your body if it doesn't go away or something, because that can be like life changing, I guess.
Much life changing. That sucks. You take any vitamins?
The B12.
How's that going for you?
I mean, doing whatever it's doing.
You have any more energy? What's it doing? Is it like anything noticeable change?
Um, Not really. Not like a noticeable change right now, honestly. I don't know if that's because of like I don't know. There's not really a noticeable change right now. I've been feeling the same.
Are you taking pills?
Yeah,
Or I take the gummies. How many grams are you taking? I mean, many milligrams.
freaking 5,000.
5,000 milligrams?
Yeah, or micrograms or whatever.
Yeah, I'm on 3,000 micrograms. And that's extra strength. And they're
Yeah,
gummies
I
because I
got
hate the
the
pills.
maximum strength. I don't know where the gummies are. I can't find them anywhere. There are no gummies in sites where I
You got
am.
Instacart, B12 by Nature's Made. Check that out.
I do not have it.
Do you have a Safeway near you?
Might think so.
You said you think so?
Probably.
Okay, if you look on Instacart for Safeway, it's buy one, get one. So you'll get two for $19.
Okay. I'll probably try the gummies next because, yeah. You said you take them twice a day?
Yep. It says take two a day as a serving. So I take it with my medication, one at night, one in the morning.
All right. Yeah, I'll try that.
I asked about the vitamins because someone here has a question about vitamins. It says vitamins and advice. What vitamins does everyone take? I currently take vitamin B, which doctor recommended, and magnesium to help with sleep. Thinking of taking vitamin D from Google recommendation. Is there anything that people recommend? Personally, I recommend Nature's Made B12, specifically by Nature's Made, because it's done good stuff for me personally.
Yeah. Probably the B12 because I know at one point I had dangerously low levels. I like no B12. That was kind of funny. Which is when they were trying to like shoot me up with it. So definitely follow through on the B12 and uh calcium, vitamin D. That's good for you.
In the comments, someone said, take a multivitamin, fish oil, magnesium, and vitamin D every day. It helps. You do feel healthier to a certain extent. Mix it with consistent healthy diet and exercise. See, yeah, I can't do all those. I might be able to exercise or eat eat healthy and exercise.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Another comment says, I take B complex once a day, and I have seen a really good result to my energy levels. And I have varied diet. I do limit my caffeine to one coffee a day, and the rest of the day I have decaf, tea, or water. Other than that, I don't take any other vitamins. I also love herbal tea for sleep rather than magnesium, as it helps with anxiety also, but I only take them once in a blue moon when I'm really struggling.
Yeah, that sounds fair. I don't really know what magnesium does.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. I was never told to take it. And I told my doctor I had insomnia and he gave me something else. I didn't know I could take magnesium. That would have helped to know. I don't know if he knew something like that.
I found a good alternative from like other things for sleep. My mom likes it. She struggles with sleep a lot. So I figured like if she likes it then it would be useful. Where the hell did I put my phone? I lose everything. I'm losing my mind.
I say that every day. Well, not about you. I say that about me. Shit. I feel like I'm losing it as the day's going on.
I'm literally losing my mind. I can't find anything anymore. I have no idea where my phone went. I just had that bitch. What? How's that happen?
I'm gonna read this one, Loofa, because you said you don't like lamotrigine, and I take it. So I'm gonna read this.
Okay.
It says Lamictal and lamotrigine side effects. I've just increased to 100 milligrams Lamictal twice a day, which I know is low enough in the grand scheme of things, but it has hit me like a truck. My fine motor combination has vanished. I'm dropping everything. My memory is what I've done is so bad. I have to make sure nobody is watching me to take my tablets or I won't remember doing it. I keep getting spells of lightheadedness, and sometimes when I stand up, I sway and get black spots on my vision. I think Lamictal is lowering my blood pressure. I'm quite anxious too, but I can deal with that easier than the rest of it. Has anybody else had a similar experience? And if they did, what did you do to improve it? I don't know whether it's worth mentioning the lightheadedness to the pharmacist or epilepsy nurse in case there's something I can do to help. Um, since I take it now, I don't know. I think I've been taking it. I don't know how long this person's been taking it, and then I take 200 milligrams twice a day. So I say I do get dizzy. That's just something you're gonna have to deal with. Um, my motor skills are there. I can pretty much do what I need to do and do what I want to do and stuff like that. I've dropped things, a lot of food, definitely.
Yeah, my medicine isn't lamotrigine, but it still makes me really unbalanced.
Me too. Like I try not to get up too fast. But yeah, squatting for too long doesn't work. That's why when it's things where I gotta squat and do stuff, sometimes I'll just sit down next to it. Well, most of the times, not sometimes. I'm gonna read this comment. It says, "You might can try the ER/XR extended release. I found it was more subtle, but it depends on your doctor and condition. The name brand Lamictal was better because the coating took longer to dissolve and it didn't hit you all at once, but was extremely expensive. It took 400 milligrams XR Lamictal for 10 years, no real side effects for me other than general lethargy. Anything over 400 milligrams has made me extremely tired. Lamictal was good, mood stabilizer as well. Yes, it is. Very good mood stabilizer. I'm pretty stable all the time. How's your mood, Lufa?
Um, right now, angry because I can't make this fucking bed. Um, it's kind of all over the place all the time. So, um, definitely not stable, I'd say.
Feel pretty chill. I think I've been smoking more than you.
Well, it's a, I need to get some more weed, but the the dispensary charges out the ass for it. Um, and my my plug guy. Stuff is like mid. It's like okay. But you know, I guess I'll have to do with his shit until the time comes. Or I don't know. Even know. I'd have to get like a medical card.
You need a medical card in Illinois?
If you have a medical card in Illinois, it takes the tax off. So something that would be so people in Illinois go to Michigan to buy weed because it's cheaper there. Because if you don't have a medical card, fucking hell. If you don't have a medical card in Illinois, then you get charged with like a 50% tax on the weed. And so what goes from a $20 card is now a $70 card or a $70 eighth. And that's just ridiculous prices.
$70 eighth?
Yeah. They tax like motherfuckers.
Okay, yeah, I've seen a $50 eighth.
Yeah, no, they tax like there's no tomorrow. I don't even know why. Like why don't they tax the alcohol like that then? As it just the weed. So I'm trying to hopefully eventually I can find a doctor to give me that. And I'm thinking that I can get it from like a physical therapist or something. Because I have EDS and my joints really hurt. So maybe they'll give me something, a little card on my birthday. That would be nice.
So the card for your birthday?
Like the medical marijuana card for my birthday would be nice. I would gladly take that.
Yeah, another one here, Loofa. It says, brain wiped out. Does anyone have these? Is this part of epilepsy? Is this normal for everyone? Regularly, I lose my thoughts completely. I talk to someone and I want to say something, but my mind is white, like clean white. There's nothing, no thought, nothing. And it stays like this for 10 seconds, and then comes right back. During this time, I giggle nervously because it's a different weird feeling for myself as well. I feel a small bit different than normally. I kind of feel like my mind is going backwards. What is this? This is epilepsy. This memory is going to be like this, and you just got to ride the wave.
Yeah, I just gotta deal with that, unfortunately. Sorry, champ.
Yeah, that's just something harder, but
Just comes with it.
not much you can do about that part.
It's a kind of like deal with it type of thing, unfortunately. My brain does that all the time.
How long ago was it that you got diagnosed?
It was like 4 months ago, I think. 4 months ago, I think.
Any advice for this person, Loofa? Does your brain ever feel wiped out?
My brain always feels wiped out because of especially from the ECT. So like, I have like no memory, um, at all, which is fine.
Same thing I said, it's fine. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Just becomes the regular. It's something to get used to.
Yeah, nothing to dwell about.
First comment says, yeah, I had those real bad with Keppra. So bad I got off the medicine. It was worse than the epilepsy. I still have them, but fewer and shorter. And I just pretend I'm thinking really hard now. Like I look up at the sky and do something normally a person would do. I've gotten good at masking it over 20 years. I guess I got good at masking it. Or just not talking to people.
Yeah, we're going radio silent.
Radio silent. Yeah,
Yeah.
just not talking to people works.
Okay. Where is my phone?
The LP that made the post said, I take no meds yet. Okay, masking it is kind of smart. So you just arranged with that. Then the person respond, sure did. Even trade for no seizures, in my opinion. I think he's suggesting this person don't ever take pills.
Oh.
Hmm.
I would consult with your doctor. If you don't want to take pills, don't take them, but I would consult with my doctor first.
Where'd you go, Loofa?
What?
The camera went off.
I'm trying to make my bed, sorry.
Oh,
The bed is being made in the process, at least. Trying a tactic with the bed. I also don't know where my phone is. I completely lost it, and that is weird because I just had it. And I don't know where I put this. I always leave my phone on silent as well.
me too.
So
That's why I didn't see your messages.
yeah, my phone is always on silent.
Keep it on vibrate, so if it's on something, I'll hear it vibrate.
Yeah, I usually don't hear it vibrate either. I just don't hear it. Even when it's not on silent, I don't hear it. What did I do? That's wicked. It has to be somewhere. How did I close? Hold on, give me one moment. Let me check out in the main area. I found my phone. It was on the dryer.
Husband having breakthrough seizures. Started a new med, need someone to talk to. He hadn't had seizures in quite some time. They came back out of nowhere, and I feel so alone and scared. I'm trying to be as understanding as I can, but on these new meds, he is sleeping constantly. I feel like a villain because I have to check on him here and there to make sure he's breathing, and he just grunts at me. I'm beyond exhausted. This crap sucks. What do you guys do? I mean, I'm on the opposite side of the fence. I'm the one that might be growling.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd be trying. I wouldn't try to snap at you right at the first response.
no, probably be. I mean, he doesn't mean like obviously he's tired, so. But I could see why she would be tired too. But maybe they could find like a nanny cam or something, or a
Right. Then you know how to
watch
check
or
on them.
whatever to make sure that he's breathing, so that she doesn't feel like she constantly has to go and check up on him.
Right.
Because the constantly going to check up does seem a little consistent, especially if you have to work.
The first comment says, "There's absolutely nothing about seizures that doesn't suck. Be patient and loving. I can guarantee that he's probably going through worse. When I was sleeping constantly, I felt like an absolute loser and a burden to my wife and kids. It made me want to sleep more to avoid thinking about it and didn't want to talk about it back then. He could be dealing with depression, which just makes things even harder. Honestly, you both sound like you might need some outside help from counseling. Ask his neurologist office if there's any resources to turn to. Hopefully he'll be open to it, but he might need to get used to the idea. So don't push him too much. Guys are stupid and stubborn. I know because I am still one. Still one. Stay one.
Still one.
He said, I know because I am still one.
Later, I'm becoming an octopus.
It does suck. Remember that his body is still adjusting. When I start a new epilepsy med, I'm prone to the side effects. I give it time, and if this med produces too many side effects, then there are other options.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He needs time to warm up to it. And it's definitely hard on other family members. I know my mom has a hard time dealing with it, I think, especially recently. But um, the best thing to do is not make him feel like a burden. That would be a really big thing that I would say. Don't, don't.
Just send you there. Just don't make them feel like a burden. That's the worst thing. That'll make them want to give up as a man. This man that can be rough to hear or rough to be felt like, because especially if we have kids with each other.
Yeah, that would not be fun. I would not. I would not want to do that. Yeah, no.
Something
Don't.
here. It says, "What controls your absent seizures?" I'm just curious for those with mainly absent seizures, what meds you take to control them. From what I've read, there's not any in common in adults, but I'm 29 and just diagnosed, and we think I have mainly them. And also maybe some focal aware partials. I just started lacosamide 50 milligrams twice a day, and it's only been a week. So I'm sure I need to wait longer to see how it helps, etc., whatever. But it seems like they're still happening and maybe even worse. LOL, I don't know. But yeah, just curious. Loofa, you having absent seizures?
What are those again?
Probably not then.
Is that like what the What is that? That's
I have no idea, but we'll go to
yeah.
the comments.
I hear those all the time. I know I have like the focal aware ones where I'm like out of it, but like I'm still awake. Um, there's nothing that fixes that. They just happen whenever they want, and so it's like disassociating, but you can't. It's like you're less in control of it because disassociating is um that forms as a coping mechanism, whereas the epilepsy is just the epilepsy.
It says, sounds stupid, but nicotine in small amounts when I feel like I'm drifting. Do
What?
not recommend, just answering the question truthfully.
Oh my god, that's hysterical. That's so funny. I love that. That's such a unique answer.
The person responded that wrote it said, LOL, I appreciate the truthfulness. Somebody else said, my 16-year-old daughter has absent seizures. She went from having multiple absent seizures per day to 0 once she started taking 400 milligrams of Aptium per day.
What?
Right. Never heard any of this. Not even its generics.
Aptium?
Aptium, Zevanex, Axaleaf.
What the fuck? I've never heard of that before.
Eslicarbazine.
Yeah, what?
Eslicarbazine.
Yeah, she don't ring a bell.
Eslicarbazepine. There we go.
It,
Aptium is Eslicarbazepine.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Got something else here. Another comment. It says, I believe it's normal in some meds for absent seizures to become worse in the first few weeks of taking them. Then it gradually goes away. I mean, you're introducing foreign drugs to your brain that directly affect your seizures. So it makes sense. Just like sleeping too much or too little puts you at risk, basically. Any change in routine or diet can lower the seizure threshold. Currently, I'm trying to get back on the Lamictal. My brain grew a tolerance to ethosuximide, and now my seizures are worse than ever. I wish I had your luck, your endeavors, with your endeavors. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
Someone else said trying to find the right medication for absent seizures is a simple trial and error. Rule of thumb is you should try 4, and if you can't find success from those, you start considering another option.
I don't know about you or anyone else. I know a lot of people have had surgeries, but those kind of freak me out. Like to think about getting one of those kind of freaks me out.
You know what a PET scan is?
It sounds familiar.
I haven't had too many different names for scans, but let me check it out.
I asked my doctor for a brain scan or something to see my what the inside of my brain looks like or whatever, and he was like, yeah, we can do that, but I don't think we're gonna find anything. So that was basically a no. Shucks.
It's Pozistrin. emission tomography scan.
I've never heard of that.
PET scan or position scan is a type of imaging that helps doctors see how your organs and tissues are functioning. It involves the injection of radioactive tracer, which is absorbed by certain organs and tissues, allowing the detection of diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and brain conditions, unlike other imaging techniques like X-rays, MRIs, and PET scans, provides information about metabolic activity, helping to understand how the disease is unfolding.
Okay. It's like a specialized scan.
Looks like an MRI machine, basically. The tunnel. I hate that tunnel. It's loud and it's hard to fall asleep. Got a post about PET scans. It says PET scan anyone? Has anyone had an EMU stay that recorded seizures diagnosed with epilepsy and then had a PET scan? If so, can I ask how helpful that your PET scan was in locating your seizure focus? What is it like? I'm getting ready to have one. I'm super curious what I might show.
PET scan.
I haven't had one that I know of, but I'll read the comment. It says, I had one back in the 80s. It was pretty much the same as an MRI or a CT. Ask your doctor. But if it's in the EMU, they probably want you to have a seizure, inject a tracer, and then put you on a PET scanner. I think the idea is that when you have a seizure, the cells involved use more blood. The PET scan can see where it's happening.
Interesting.
Something I suggest. A question to parents with children with epilepsy. For context, I have an autistic son who has had an absent seizures growing up. They went away. Now he's 15 and his body changes. They came back, but as regular full-blown seizures. He's on medication, but though of what happens, it has one in the middle of the night. How will he know? So my question to any parents are, do you use any monitoring devices that can help capture movements of a seizure starting while at night?
I'm sure a nanny can.
I got one here, but it's not a nanny cam. You can get regular surveillance, but don't exactly need a nanny cam.
I have not gotten a nanny cam yet.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm winging it. I'm really just winging it.
Just winging it.
Genuinely, yeah, because I've had it since so it'll always be junior epilepsy or
Juvenile.
It'll always be juvenile epilepsy because it started when I was a kid. I don't ever remember bumping my head traumatically or anything. And if I did, it must have been pretty fucking traumatic because I don't remember it at all. And neither does anyone else. So, it'll always be juvenile. It'll always be juvenile epilepsy. That's it. What was the question?
What kind of devices? Basically, just everyone suggest.
Oh, I was just saying that because, yeah, I've been YOLOing it since I was a kid. And I've done a lot of things that you should not do as an epileptic.
Same here. Same here. I got you. Got something that says vagus nerve stimulation. My generalized seizures are becoming less and less controlled. Does anyone else have VNS? If so, do you find it helpful? We don't, so I'll read the comment. It says it usually depends on the seizure type, and sometimes with your medication, when juggling, will somehow interfere. Mines have downgraded shorter, and it has helped with hormone-caused seizures a lot. I have anxiety. I have anxiety, and it also helped that out. VNS helped anxiety. Not that I have anxiety.
That VNS thing sounds horrifying. I only think of it as a Venus flytrap.
Um, yeah, that's the one you got to use the magnet for, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. What if something else magnetic touches it? You know, I have so many, and I'm sure there's questions like to answer it, but I don't like that. Plus, I'm gonna go on a plane. They're gonna be like, "There was a bomb."
Come on.
Yeah.
I think they can really like do something because as an epileptic, some people that have it, you're gonna still need an MRI. So I'm not sure how that happens. So maybe it's some type of metal that doesn't exactly go off in the metal detector.
I don't know, but what if there's a big magnet or something and we're all trying to run away from it, and because I got this damn VNS in me, I'm going to be sucked right to the big magnet. Now I'm magnetized.
That's a
The,
good one.
uh, the giant magnet setup.
Um, I don't know who we could ask about that. Oh, I know somebody with VNS that we can ask. Um,
Isn't,
Kevin or Tom.
yes, I think it's Kevin.
Both of them have it.
Oh,
I'm not sure who you have to ask when you go get a MRI because I know you're in the magnet thing there, and Kate has the RNS, so I'm not sure that works either.
yeah, that sounds scary.
Did you know a lot about epilepsy before you were diagnosed?
No.
Did you know about epilepsy?
Yeah.
So you were aware that it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah? What? What does that even mean? Aware that it is possible, yeah.
Right, because I didn't know anything about epilepsy until I got it. I didn't know anything. It was something that barely was talked about. I
I mean,
heard it maybe once or twice.
I didn't know how bad it was, but I knew it, I did know it was possible.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing.
No, I knew it was a thing. I just didn't know how bad it was. I thought it was just like a seizure here and there.
Same thing. Thought it was a seizure here and there, and it
Yeah, no, I
just
was just as ignorant as everyone else.
yeah. I thought I was alone. Never met anybody with it, anything like that. Yeah, for a long time it was just like it's just me, but yeah, all my friends are driving now and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
That's
never drive.
that's the worst part. I wish I could have drove.
Yeah, me too. Especially since every time I get driven somewhere, it's just there's that feeling of like,
I don't feel like you want to drive me.
yeah, like I know you really just feel like you have to do this. So it's just,
Let's just get it over with.
yeah.
Any advice on learning how to drive or driving with epilepsy? I am now 17 years old, age
Don't.
where people start driving in my country, but I haven't even gotten my provisional. I was gathering together documents to get it last year, but then I was diagnosed with epilepsy. My last recorded seizure was in October, so I can actually start to learn to drive then. It terrifies me that the idea that if I have a TC behind the wheel and I'd kill a family of people I am driving with in a car. Already that's already a risk. I guess when anyone learns to concentrate sometimes, am I so tired from them had a couple more notches of energy per day, but now it feels capped. Like I would love more than anything to have this independence to drive to work or drive to parties at friends or school or on my own terms, but I physically don't feel comfortable behind the wheel. It's not like my seizures gave me warnings the first time. My ma'am has been pressing me to get into applying for my license and lessons and everything. And I wouldn't even know how to tell her how uncomfortable and anxious and overwhelmed it makes me feel. She just thinks it'll be all excuses anyway. Anyone have any advice on what to do or had similar experiences? No, I never had a mom push me to drive, especially at 17. Um, didn't happen. Uh,
I've had people push me to drive, but I've always been adamant that I don't feel like getting charged with anything because I know I cannot drive and I'm not safe behind the wheel. You know, and when you're driving a car, it's a weapon. You can kill someone. So if you don't feel comfortable behind the wheel, regardless of what your mom or ma'am says, don't do it. Just don't do it. There's other ways, I'm sure. Public transportation is a good one.
yeah, I couldn't imagine hurting somebody.
Yeah, being knowledgeable that you have something and then hurting someone would not be my first.
Killing myself. I have children, people to live for.
Be
Yeah.
the best circumstances.
Someone said if you're in the UK, you need to have a medical professional approve you to get a license. Mm.
Yeah, that would be good. Hold on, let me grab something. I'm back. Sorry.
It is all right. You gave me some time to read other things. I should have went and got some water. Somebody needs advice. So listen up. Oh, it's a child. Since I'm
Oh,
17 and I got diagnosed with epileptic seizures in April, and I'm getting an EEG this week because I was pushed for it. All of my doctors seem to think I'm just being hysterical, and for some reason, I've convinced myself I have something severely wrong with my brain, like brain damage, tumor, defect. I don't even know. It's just because since seizures started happening last year, they've gotten so bad so quickly. Like three between October and December, with like recovery, and now it's every day with hours, and I'm lost after. And ever since then, it's everything that's been a little off, like coordination issues, balance issues, speech, just struggling a lot more, forgetful with words and tripping over words, except it's a lot more often now. Struggling with focus and suddenly getting twitches, mainly like smiling and then suddenly twitching. So it's basically muscle spasms go to muscle spasms, and then you use to smile. Muscle spasms go to the muscles you use to smile. I'd probably be less reactive about this if someone actually told me what to do about NES. I cannot do CVT or personal reasons, but I've literally just been treated like I'm being difficult and dumb teenager. I'm rational and all that. so I can say myself it's not true, but I'm so scared. I need someone to literally tell me and tell me it's in my head and I'm not just epilepsy or brain tumor because I'm just panicking about sudden onset. Everything gets more horrifically bad after. Um,
Wow.
right. Wow. You want to tell this person something? You think they're overreacting? How do you feel about that one? You tell me how to feel.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I think they're just being anxious, maybe because, they're what, 17? And the way that the epilepsy and whatnot makes your brain like lose kind of some of its function, feels like you're dying when you first, start experiencing it. And they're at the age of where they're going to be like peaking and experiencing it. So um it's probably just them being anxious. I don't think that it's a brain tumor or anything.
Yeah, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when I think about epilepsy.
No,
Brain tumor. Unless
no,
you went to
that's,
Chat GPT or you read too deep somewhere.
yeah, you definitely might have read too much on something or something led you down a rabbit hole, but most everyone has bad memory and uh can't, can't, you just feel like your brain is broken. That's just it. Like my brain is just broken and on fire. And that's just kind of what it feels like. So I don't think that it's a tumor or anything.
Your ears ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, my ears are ringing for some odd reason. I mean, right now, just no reason in particular. It's odd, but
They just like go off for a hot ass minute. And I don't know why. It's really annoying, but usually it doesn't last too long.
okay, I got something here. It says, "Am I selfish? I've been having seizures now for maybe 10 years. It's difficult to pinpoint it. Around 3 years ago, I decided to go see a neurologist because my friends were very, very concerned about my episodes that looked like epilepsy. Long story short, the doctor was rude, but I let it slide, gave me some Keppra, which my body didn't respond nicely to, up the dose, and then went on and off because the meds were making me mental health go crazy. Took a bunch of MRIs and the 48-hour EEG. That was uncomfortable, and I still don't know what I have or how to fix it. Both results were clean. Right now, I've given up and paused to find treatment as of right now, since the whole experience was a bit traumatizing. Put my life on pause for a while, always staying in my home, but now I want to go try to live a normal life. I want to go out, go to school, go get a job, and even drive. The driving part is one thing everyone is against. I just started driving too for the first time, so I'm very new to it all. I'm extra cautious and aware of the risk. I just don't know. I just don't want to rot in the bed for the rest of my life and feel as if I'm disabled.
Mm, that's understandable. Um, if I mean, I don't know how the driving necessarily works for them, but just because you can't drive doesn't mean that you have to be bedridden.
Right. You don't have to call yourself disabled either.
Yeah, it's more of a
conscious choice, I believe. Kind
Go
of.
through the comments. Someone says, incredibly selfish. Been without a driver's license for 4 or 5 years now. It sucks a lot, especially living in this country because I can't walk anywhere either. But I suck it up because my desire to feel more independent and social doesn't override everyone else's desire to be safe on the road. Right. I like that one.
Yeah, I really like that one too.
Then the other person responds, yeah, thank you for sharing. Perhaps I'm still in denial about being fine when I'm not. Took me years to go to the doctor because of family, and I thought that there was nothing wrong. I think what I really need more people to talk to like this. I've been feeling down and no one to relate to. I've had a bad habit of comparing myself to others. That you should not do either.
Now, comparison is the root of all evil.
Say that again.
Comparison is the root of all evil.
Yes.
And money. I would not recommend them getting a driver's license, though.
Another response said, nope, definitely not. You have every right to your own freedom, and if you want to drive, not having epileptic seizures, and you've been cleared by your doctor, then go for it. Their opinions are just that, their opinion. Do you go for it? Truth? Do until you lose it. And epileptic drivers, we all know one day we may come, that one day may come, we won't be allowed to do this anymore. And that sucks, but it is what it is. If you're medically cleared and been given the go ahead, I say start the car and enjoy every ounce of freedom you can. Best help to you. And the person who wrote it responds, the thing is that I kind of lied about being seizure free to my doctor because she kept me on Keppra when I was told her that it wasn't working for me. Right now I'm just trying my best to listen to my body, and when I can find better doctor that will provide better care, I feel like I'm trying to look for a doctor now. Then I'll have my license taken away until I find treatment, which could be the worst case scenario for the next years. Someone said, if you're having seizures, stop driving.
Yeah.
The other person responded, I drive with one of the cars with the brakes on the passenger side of now. I also drive on empty roads as well. I need to start being monitored again with the seizures. I'm not sure how frequently they are now, but if I'm ever in a seizure free for like 6 months, I think it's safe to drive again, right?
I mean, that's what they say medically speaking. But this person sounds like they're just in denial. Epilepsy has definitely made me more aware of
Everything.
who may be on the road. Because there are some people with epilepsy that just drive and have seizures every day, and I just don't really. But hey.
Right, I got one here. It says, my best friend had a seizure today. I was getting out of the shower when I heard a scream, so I went down to the kitchen. She was laying on the floor, shaking with foam out of her mouth. We're both teenagers, and we were home alone at the time. So I called her mom, and she told me what to do. Within 5 minutes, her grandmother came over. My friend was fine now, and she's awake, and she's talking, just a little nauseous, very tired. She was diagnosed with epilepsy back in February, and this is her first seizure since she's been diagnosed. It scared me so bad. It's been around an hour since it happened, and I'm still shaking and tearing up just thinking about it. any words of encouragement, advice, or just anything would be greatly appreciated at the moment. I want to be good friends to her and make sure that she takes it easy for the next week that I'm here. But I also don't want to treat her like she's fragile and broken because I know she would hate that. So please, people with epilepsy, what would be the best way to go about this situation? How do you prefer people treating you after a seizure? Again, any words of encouragement or advice are so greatly appreciated. Um, so far you've been a good friend.
Yeah.
Called you called mom.
Yeah, I
That's
was.
it. You pretty much did good stuff.
I wouldn't treat your friend any differently either. I would just,
Right, yeah, don't treat her any different.
now you know what to do in the future if anything happens.
Let her know how you handled it. Like I did this, I handled it. You know,
Yeah, and handled it well by
and
calling someone. That's really good.
yeah, I got you help. We're live. Let's go do something. Something.
Yeah, you can
Um,
watch movies, some
yeah, I'm gonna make the person feel a little better.
low impact, chill with them.
Maybe make them some food.
Yeah.
Food always helps me afterwards.
Yeah, I always like something sweeter, something like that.
That makes me want something right now. But
I just grabbed a salad. I haven't eaten all day.
okay, this is it stupid to wear my oxygen tubing all the time, or do you think strangers could figure it out? So I recently had oxygen prescribed for use during my seizures, but not to go outside of them. Unless I'm thinking of going, I'm going to have one. I've been considering just wearing my oxygen tubing anytime I'm in class or out in public, as I'm getting a new medical card that will direct people to put on my oxygen and know how to use it. I plan on printing out a piece of paper and attaching it to my oxygen, basically saying, put tubing in, turn the dial to 2. You do think a stranger or a nervous teacher would be able to put on the tubing for me for a moment when I need it? Or should I just wear it all the time? I have the fear of looking more sick, in quotes, more sick, or people pitying me more for finding out I don't have my oxygen on 24/7, or seeing me without it and therefore thinking I'm faking or exaggerating. I'm not asking for medical advice, just what would your opinion be on what to do? Um, I want to live. Anything to do to live, I take it with me and would not care who's seen it or what people have to say. I'm alive. Um, yeah, and everything I would
Mm,
say.
depending on how frequent it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be ashamed of it or anything like that and not wear it because I think people are going to
Mm.
be staring at me or something like that.
And if they're staring, then
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
yeah.
One of the comments said, I don't know, it's wrong. Comment says, what is your neurologist recommended? I've not heard of this, especially for PNES. If some of these are epileptic, then usually the solution is to carry a nasal spray to stop the seizure, as if just not lack of oxygen causes damage. Person responded, my neurologist prescribes the use of oxygen instead of using benzos. I've never heard of it or for PNES either, but my oxygen gets low during my seizures and therefore it makes me dangerous. Right. Says feeling hopeless. My niece had a seizure and her mom won't take it seriously. I made a post a couple weeks ago. I gave my niece a hug and she dropped to the floor and she had a seizure. Her head and her eyes shifted to the left. Her arms went stiff and shook, and it lasted for about 30 seconds. We took her up to the emergency room and they said it sounded like a seizure. They said they were setting up a pediatric neurologist to call to book an appointment. It's been a couple of weeks and no call has been made to book an appointment. When I asked what's going on with it all, her mother said that she had only eaten jelly beans that day and that she thinks it was a sugar rush. She doesn't seem interested in following up with the neurologist or getting tests done. Keep in mind, we are in Canada and all the appointment and medications will be free. So it's not a matter of cost, but a matter of her being consistently drunk and lazy. She acts like nothing happened, takes her swim in a lake, etc. I am an epileptic myself. I saw her seizure. Her mother did not. If she brushes it off like this, I think she is. I don't know what to do, but I can't do nothing. Advice. That's a situation where, since I know how bad epilepsy is, if I'm telling someone they should do something with their child, like go see a doctor and not take the child to swim in a lake, I'd be so sorry, but I'd be like, I gotta call CPS or I need to know some of your family or something. You're just being careless and thinking it's sugar and take this kid to the lake. No, that's wrong. That's messed up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, parents and some
Parents can be enablers.
and some religions don't allow, like, I mean, it might be Jehovah's Witness or something, but they don't allow like blood transfusions or anything. Cause or like some beliefs are like only the strong survive and the sick die. So I don't think they have a parent like that, but there are situations like that too. That sounds like it sucks though. I would not know what to do.
Move to another one. So I'm scared and I don't know what to do. 2 days ago, my family had to call an ambulance because I was having a grand mal seizure. Apparently, I checked myself out of the hospital. My mom picked me up and I had another grand mal and almost kicked the front window out of her truck. Of course, I remember nothing, and even yesterday was hazy, which is somewhat normal for me, but something is different. I feel different. I see things different. I'm hearing things different. I cannot put it into words how I feel, but I'm having a hard time with the word anxiety. Anxiety in the words how I feel, but I have heard the word anxiety thrown around all my life, but I never had it as an issue until this week. Everything I do, everything I say, every way I think, it's not me. I feel like some wires in my brain are crossed and some switches are not flipping the right way. I'm embarrassed. I feel like an idiot. I feel stupid. I'm scared. I cannot tell you how afraid I am, and I don't think I can do this. I never I have never asked random people online for help, but I am grasping at straws here. I was diagnosed with TLE 6 years ago. I have been sober for 3 years now. I can take medication religiously and on time, and bullshit finds its way to ruin my life every 3 to 6 months. Um, that's a hard one. Congratulations on the getting clean and stop drinking. Well, I don't did it say drinking or did it just say sober? Congratulations on the sobriety for 3 years. Um, yeah, and you're 6 years in. I can't say this is going to be the rough times, the early ends, and not knowing what the future can look like. But 20 years in now, I could say it gets better with time. Well, I mean, you learn to deal with it and learn how to get better and take care of yourself, and then it gets better with time. But other than that, if you're just gonna run wild and keep living life, then you might have a problem. But start taking care of yourself now since you're early in.
Yeah.
It might not take 20 years to get better. I mean, to get to a
The sooner
decent
you
position.
take care of yourself. I would agree. The sooner you take care of yourself.
Me in particular, I was just living. I wouldn't say take care of yourself. I was just being careless about how I was living. I wasn't eating right. I was barely going home sometimes. Stuff like that. You got to live better and get your health in order, because I was not worried about my health. I was just in the streets, just living life, not caring about epilepsy. I never thought it was something that can kill you. Me not thinking, just living life. Yeah, once I got it together, I started noticing my medication was working a little better now that I'm paying attention to my health. I'm eating better, this and that. Yeah, I was living with a female at that time, so I don't know if that was it. But once COVID hit and I didn't get COVID, seems like I started having seizures more. And since then, they've just been getting better. Like I've been telling everybody, I'm down to 3 to 5 a year. So far, I'm at 3 this year, and 7 months gone, almost 8 months. Doing pretty good, I think. I think I can get there.
Yeah, I would agree. I was pretty much in the same predicament as you. I wasn't diagnosed, but I was just doing anything. And then once I got diagnosed and started taking it seriously, they stopped being so frequent and messy, I guess. But it is a learning curve for sure.
Yes, it is. I can say it was easier finding out that I was when I was in high school, and then the hard part was being around people, having seizures around people in school. And my first few were at school in front of people, and my mother didn't get to see them until I finally had one at home, I guess. Um, but yeah, having them in school was rough the first time. The first time I didn't pee on myself, but the second time I did, and that was horrible.
Mm.
And it was like, is this what's gonna happen every time? Then the third time I peed on myself again, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what's gonna happen every time. Then the fourth time I didn't, so I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't what's gonna happen every time. That's
Every
cool.
3 times. Fourth time's a charm.
And the fifth time I peed on myself, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just gonna be insane. This is what it's gonna be like. Then I think there was just a long gap to where I was like, okay, I'm good. I've learned how to not pee on myself. But eventually it comes back. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, there's something.
I've only peed on myself once.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. I got control.
Mad control, huh?
I didn't even know that that was a thing. I didn't know that people peed on themselves.
People
And
poop
they
on
were like,
themselves too.
yeah, they were like, they're like, this is a common thing. I was like, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Learn something new every day, and I don't pee on myself.
Some
Loser.
people, some people poop on themselves too, so it's
Damn.
a thing. It sucks. I mean, I haven't did it personally, but I can imagine having to clean up my shit. Well, I couldn't imagine that as an adult.
Especially after a seizure, that would suck.
Ooh, especially if you live alone. You
Yeah.
just gotta wait till you get better. Because I'm definitely not gonna have the energy right when it happens, and I'm just gonna be like, "Fuck, just gotta sit here in this shit." Couldn't imagine.
Sleeping in the bathtub.
Yeah, bathtub sounds best. Any seizures in public for you?
Yeah, I think I've had like 3 or 4 in public.
Were they bad?
They were tonic-clonic seizures. I've had a ton of myoclonic seizures in public, obviously. But every time they call the ambulance, I don't seize long enough for the ambulance to be called, but because I'm at work or something, they would call the ambulance.
Were you working? I was a cashier, and I had epilepsy and had seizures at the register.
I was working on a truck line in a warehouse.
I've been there. I worked at a warehouse. Yeah, that was my last job.
Miss that.
Yeah, it was a cool job. Basically taking stuff off the trucks and stuff. But yeah, I fell and I guess my teeth kind of went through my gums a little bit. So I had went through my cheek a little bit on the inside. So yeah, I had to quit that job because I had to get stitches on the inside. And then my stepmom, she wrote me a letter and I was reading it on the way to work and I was like, oh shit, this is a resignation letter. So I gave it to my boss and he was like, okay. It's like, you resigning right now? And I was like, yeah. I just found that out too, sir. And
My mom actually wrote this.
I think I read it on the way out the front door. I was like reading it on the way to work. It's like, wow, this is interesting. My family just resigned for me.
Now I have no job. My family quit.
Yeah, but before that, I worked at Krispy Kreme and I fell on the fryer. So
Oh,
they were just done with me working. Oh, you didn't hear that story?
that sounds painful.
Yeah, it was, especially the next day.
Frying your face?
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be over there anyway, but somebody needed help and I knew what I was doing. I just shouldn't have been there. And that was the first time they were like, don't go over there. And the first time I happened to go over there, that shit happens. So what had happened was I went over to like help somebody move a tray so the glaze wasn't going everywhere because it was going everywhere at one point in time. Tried to help them and to lift the rack and go that way, but he didn't lift when I lifted. So when I did have a seizure, essentially the rack splashed everywhere anyway. And then my arm went elbow deep into the air fryer, into the grease. And then I pulled it out. And then I fell on the ground and continued to have another seizure. And then the next day I had blisters on my fingers and stuff, and I was popping them with thread and needles. Oh, my bad, Loofa. You over there eating stuff, and I'm telling you these stories.
That sounds so painful.
I couldn't feel it.
Yeah, but the aftermath.
And the aftermath, they were blisters. So in the aftermath, it was just loose skin that I was just cutting off after.
Ew.
You asked. What's that you're eating there?
Salmon.
Salmon in a jar?
It's a salad jar.
Oh, okay.
My mom made me a salad in a jar.
Nice.
Oh, good.
I could really use a salad right now.
It was a 10 out of 10 salad. It's the first thing I have eaten today. Actually, no, I had fries.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I want some McDonald's fries right now.
McDonald's does sound good.
I love
Does it-
McDonald's.
Do you have insomnia as well? Have your pills cause you insomnia, or you have no problem sleeping?
Um, it's like a mix in between. When I sleep, I'm mostly awake for it. But sometimes I get hit really hard at like 7 o'clock and I'm exhausted. And then sometimes I can't fall asleep until like 2.
I get that all the time. Can't fall
Yeah.
asleep till around 2 and 3, and then the time is flying, and I'm now wondering. Now I'm wondering why I can't fall asleep and shit. Yeah, been there. But I'm hoping I can fall asleep and sleep through the night tonight, hopefully.
I've never had a solid sleep schedule.
I'm hoping I end up doing that today. Well, tonight at least.
It's never too late to start trying.
Right.
Eventually your body will make for me my body makes its own clock.
Got one more before we go. It says, I'm a mother of a 38-year-old son. As a young child, he was diagnosed with ADHD and ADD. Ritalin was prescribed, but I was losing an ongoing battle trying to get him to take medication. In late October 2024, he had a seizure. His driver's license was suspended. Long story short, epilepsy was diagnosed, Keppra prescribed 2 times a day. He has been taking it sporadically despite being warned about breakthrough seizures, etc. He had another seizure in February, multiple in one day. He lost his job on Wednesday, unrelated to his epilepsy, and had a seizure today. He was explosively angry, agitated, and somewhat aggressive. Combination of personality, Keppra rage, circumstances, and the effects of a seizure. He lives at home out of financial necessity. My husband and I love him and want to provide emotional support and help, as can't force him to take his meds. Can't force him to take his meds on him. We have suggested to speak to a doctor and try something else, but he hasn't as of yet. We feel a little bit like we're being held hostage in this situation, as if he didn't live with us. He has nowhere else to go. Any experience or something similar, and or have any advice, even regarding to the meds and personality change? Thank you in advance. He's 38. He's almost like me. Well, I'm almost like him. Well, I don't want to be like him. So, but he's 38. So I'm catching up to him.
I mean, he could.
He sounds like he doesn't care about his epilepsy.
Yeah. And if you're not gonna care about your epilepsy, then you kind of have to do something else.
Yeah,
Like if he was taking care of his epilepsy, I can understand them being lenient and helping him financially, especially. But if he's not taking care of his epilepsy and depending on them financially and living with them, he's get a job or take care of his epilepsy, or probably do both. Get a job.
yeah. I wonder why he lost his job. She really didn't say. She said, "Sure."
I'm not gonna lie, by the sound of the post, it sounds like he's a little bit lazy.
Let's go through the comments.
He might just be like not really caring. I think he could be depressed.
First comment. He kind of sounds like me, give or take a few years. I haven't driven a car since February after having a 6-minute tonic-clonic seizure at my friend's and an EEG confirming epilepsy. I think the anti-seizure meds make me more jittery, and my ADHD meds. My husband is taking care of the house. I've got a soon to be high school graduate and a 10-year-old kid. Since the diagnosis, I've been pretty useless to them and everyone. This weighs on me tremendously. But trying to fight is like adding more fire to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, well, but it sounds like this kid isn't taking care of this. 'Cause it sounded like he wasn't. Well, he's not a kid. Um, the OP's post said that he wasn't taking his meds as prescribed.
Right.
So, as someone who used to do that, you're not going to find any benefit from the medication if you're not taking it as prescribed. So I think that there's a little difference between that and whatnot. And if he's having problems with the personality changes within it, give him some time. And if he's still having problems with it, then you change medications. But other than that, they can kick him out.
Give him an ultimatum.
Yeah, that's what I would get. I would get an ultimatum. It would be either you do this or you find your own way. And so then I would have to pick. Regardless, just because you have epilepsy doesn't mean that you get a free pass. You get to park in the handicap spot.
Right.
Or use the handicap bathroom. I mean, you can if no one else is there using it, but if there's a line of handicaps and you decide to go and use it, that's just you being an asshole. And you
Right.
using your diagnosis for no good. Because this isn't getting out of school anymore. You're trying to just get out of life at this point. It's not great.
Like that answer. Here's another response to that. It says, I just hope their new recommendation is not Depakote. How does or when does he take his medication? I know one thing that helped me was getting a weekly pill container. I've had one since I've had epilepsy. The only thing that changes is that it got a bit bigger because I have more disabilities. I'm not sure what else could he recommend to could we recommend to him. That pool container really helped me. I didn't even attempt to use it straight from the bottle. My mom got me a container since I was 14. I didn't think that because Pike prescribed something in a liquid form, but maybe he can also ask his neurologist for a rescue medication. He really should be taking his meds as prescribed. I hope you or someone has been timing his seizure. Tell him to ask his neurologist about status epilepticus and if he is there because of this. The writer said, thank you so much, and I thank you so much for your suggestions. I appreciate the response. One last comment. Would he allow you to come along to a neurology appointment if he's taking Keppra inconsistently? That's very important information for his neurologist to know. They may want to switch him over to a medication with a longer half-life if he struggles to take his meds consistently. Also, do you think he might be willing to speak with a psychiatrist? If he's dealing with explosive anger and does not want to take his Ritalin, a psychiatrist might be able to help come up with a new treatment plan. He's very unfortunate to have you. He's very fortunate to have you. The writer says, when he was finally diagnosed, the plan was for my husband to accompany him along with my son's girlfriend. There was a lot of tension for various reasons, and only his girlfriend went. My son has been pretty transparent about what he has been instructed to do, med-wise, and for reasons of not liking how it makes him feel and not liking big pharma and yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. He is sporadic at his best with his doses. His family doctor recommended a psychiatrist, but I don't think anything has happened on this front. I am burning endless candles as I try to help solve this. I am wondering out loud if part of this is my lesson, is realizing that I didn't control what beyond my control. I didn't control what is beyond my control. I love my son and would switch places with him in an instant. Obviously I can't, but there just doesn't seem to be a clear path here. Anyway, I very much appreciate your insights and recommendations. Thanks for responding. Wishes to you as well. Continue your own journey. Take good care. That is beautiful advice.
Yeah. That was good.
Um,
You can also feed the child or the adult. Make him some toast in the morning and then give him the pills. You have to take the pills. That's how my mom got me started on my pills and got me to take them regularly. She would make me take them every morning and give them to me and make sure I take them every night, and then eventually I got into the habit of it myself.
what's the longest you ever went without a seizure?
3 months, 4 months, 3 months.
How was that? Fun?
Yeah.
Did you party in between there?
No. No, I was getting used to the medication,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately.
What did you say you're taking again?
Now I'm on Breviac, 75 milligrams. We just upped it. So we're moving up doses, which is good.
Okay, I got something else here. It says 10 years free, comes back stronger than ever. Hey, just to preface this, I had my first seizure or so around 10 and last tonic-clonic at 12. Every time I had one was usually around Christmas, getting too excited and having too much sugar and staying up too late. I would get a seizure aura at night and my tonic-clonic seizure would happen. Now as an adult, I've been tonic-clonic free, seizure free, and even no seizing auras until the past 2 weeks. I'm 22 now. I believe it's been triggered from stress, etc., from exams, but what confuses me is that I've done this so much worse for my health in between that time, never got it, not even the slightest feelings, because I thought I was free from this. I was diagnosed with benign Rolandic epilepsy. Every night I get a seizure aura, even during the day. I got put back on Keppra. I was off it since 16, but now I'm on 1,000 milligrams, and this shit sucks, to say the least. It's fairly effective, and I get side effects. I don't have an appointment with my neurologist until August 15th, but I really don't want to have a tonic-clonic again because, number one, they make it more likely to happen again and again. Number two, it's painful and extremely scary to deal with, as well as expensive. Number three, I really like driving. My question is what to do to mitigate or eliminate it again. I've never tried anything other than Keppra, but I was thinking of trying Vimpat or off meds or anything that I can. It sucks so bad that we have to deal with this, and I thought I could finally be free of it. If you have any idea of what's going on, please help. There's no eliminating it. There's just learn to live with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should they try to go med free? I don't suggest going med free. Follow your neurologist. If you don't want to follow that one, get a second opinion. But
Well, yeah, because I think when people go med free, they think that they're epilepsy, or when they get on meds and then they're epilepsy free for a while, they think that they're seizure free for a while. They think that they're epilepsy free, but then you get off the medications and you're right back to square one. And you're having, because I know, like, for me, when I started the Keppra, I missed one dose of it, or one or two doses of it, and I immediately started having like myoclonic seizures again. And I had been fine since the moment taking it, but the second I stopped taking it, it's just like my body was in, and I hadn't even been taking it that long, so I think some things your body just might need.
Yeah. Do you ever know when you're having an aura?
I don't know. I get kind of confused on like the word, I guess. Cause I mean, well, sometimes I know like when I'm about to have a seizure. Like I have like a feeling that's like, yeah, like I'm definitely gonna have a seizure today. And usually that starts off with myoclonic jerks. And that's the warning sign. And if they're really bad and if they really hurt, that's how I know that I'm gonna have a seizure, like a grand mal seizure. But other than that, I just get like weird feelings in my body, but nothing that leads to a seizure. I get like weird out of body feelings a lot, but usually when I have a seizure, there's no warning signs. I just have it. I just go down.
And another one here, it says, answer, should I tell blank I have epilepsy? It says, yes, I've been very vocal about my epilepsy since day one in 2010 at a job interview. I'll save it for the end so they can get to know me without the bias, but an employer should know who they're hiring. Same thing with when I get a girlfriend. I usually spend a couple of hours with her so she gets to see me for the first, but I'll tell her at the end I have epilepsy. Omitting crucial information about yourself is lying and doesn't do any favors. I've had seizures on second dates and on first dates on jobs. And when the paramedics asked them if I had a history of seizures, they gave them the right answer and were about as prepared as anyone could reasonably be for a seizure. No, epilepsy isn't fun. Yes, it is embarrassing at times. Yes, it disqualifies us from certain jobs. But do you want to be someone who won't accept you for you? Should you be working at a job that could lead to severe consequences if you have a seizure? TLDR, be upfront about your condition. It's better for everyone. Yeah, I let everybody know for my safety. Like when I go places in certain positions, I gotta tell people. Um, Depends on where I'm at, but I don't just be out just telling everybody. Yeah, it just depends. Maybe what I'm doing, if what I'm with someone, especially if someone's driving, I let them know.
Yeah,
I don't really just throw it out there.
I don't really care. It comes
Yeah.
up, it comes up. I don't know. It's not like I mean, in certain situations, I'll say that I have epilepsy, but in others, I don't really care. Although at a job, I would probably get the job, and then at the end, it would be a good time to tell them you're epileptic, because,
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
yeah.
They find out after they've given me the job.
Yeah, like, by the way, I have epilepsy.
How's that with dating?
The what?
How's epilepsy with dating?
It's not a date. So I don't know. I would imagine. I don't know. I'm I had a seizure in some guy's bed once.
Tonic clonic?
Yeah.
Did he call the ambulance?
No, I told him not to. Before, when I was talking to him, I was like, by the way, like, sometimes I have seizures. So if I have one, don't call the ambulance unless, like, it goes over 5 minutes. And just make sure I'm not choking on my vomit or anything. And so he like walked out of the room and I told him I was feeling kind of weird. And I was having a lot of like myoclonic jerks. And he came back and I was like in a full on seizure. And then I woke up with a really bad headache later and I was really confused. And he's like, are you awake? I was like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? He was like, you had a seizure. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm awake. Because I guess like in the post-ictal phase, I was talking about planes and shit. So I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. And then I just fell asleep. Because I'll just talk, and then in the middle of talking, I just stop talking and fall asleep.
That sounds gnarly. Great story.
Yeah. I think I had a
Well, not the seizure in the bed part. That didn't sound fun.
I also lost like I had a burrito and then it like got lost in the bed, so I couldn't eat the burrito because it was like all in the sheets. Gross. Um, yeah, I don't talk to him anymore. Um, yeah, I had a seizure at this other guy's house, but he used to lock me in the basement, so he was kind of weird. He used to get taxidermied rats. It's very
What'd you say?
we get rats that the thing is, so we had like a house and the upstairs was like rats, like all rats. And then when they would die, he would take them to a taxidermist and he would have them like he took me to pick them up one time and I was like, this is the weirdest shit ever. Like, how did I get in this situation? What is going on? There's a zebra head on the wall. There is a lion head on the wall. There is an entire antelope right there staring at me. And it's real. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like a frequent flyer at this place and she comes out with his fucking rats, and I kid you not, they're doing handstands, cartwheels, and a backflip. That's the position he had the rats put into. Some of them were just in normal positions. Those ones he chose to do fun positions, gymnastics positions for the rats. And then
You gotta be kidding, right? You wish you were.
yeah. And then he would go to work and lock me in the basement.
What the fuck was going on, Loofa?
It was really weird. I had to like sneak out of his house and get my cat out of there because he was threatening to kill my cat and have my cat stuffed. Like, I was like, all right, dude, that's a little much. But I had a seizure in front of him. Kept trying to use it against me. He's like, I saved your life. No, you didn't. Get the fuck out of here. We were in a hospital when I had the seizure. Get the fuck out of here. Goofy ass. That's so silly. Yeah, but That was a taxidermied rat guy. I think there's like mold growing in the walls and stuff. That's why like the two people that live there are going like nuts. It's very weird. Just trying to start like a rat cult. Like I'm not joking. It's literally he's trying to start a rat cult.
So, like, you said it was all rats upstairs. Were those rats already stuffed, or?
No, those were alive rats. So like if you have you ever seen Coraline?
I think so. Yeah.
So there's two women that live downstairs. I forgot their names. Mrs. I forget, but Hatchet and I don't know. But they have like a bunch of dogs and they're all the same breed and whatever. But whenever they die, they have them stuffed and they put them on a wall with angel wings and stuff. And oh, Miriam and Miss Portugal or something like that, and Miriam. I'm sure it's not more Portugal, but that's big. But they had like a shit ton of dogs, and then just a shit ton of dogs on the wall that had died. So that's basically what he was doing, but with rats. He had a bunch of alive rats, and then when they died, he had them stuffed. Um,
I'm sorry. How big were they?
and not the size of a New York City rat. It's like regular sized rats.
Like the size of my hand?
Yeah,
Long tail?
yeah, and the girl, there's a girl that lives there. Um, it literally was like he was literally trying to turn it into a cult. It was very odd. Um, really, really weird. She said that she enjoys the smell of the rat poop.
That shit can kill you.
Yeah, she says she likes to breathe it in. They are thriving.
Each his own.
Yeah, I didn't know about the rats until I got in there. And then I was in the basement. It's like, what the fuck? This is something new. This was not on my bingo card. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Had someone said feeling anxious. I'm starting long-term monitoring tomorrow. Anybody have been through this before? Have any advice? Long-term monitoring?
I don't know what that is. Like,
Maybe like 5-day EEG?
yeah, is that what they think? Why don't be anxious?
It says EEG for a few days. I don't think I've had anxiety. To be anxious, I guess, is that the same thing as nervous?
No, but
No, no.
you can be anxious about certain things.
Not, not
I guess
check.
I I was anxious about it just in case they didn't find anything. Depends what they're anxious about. But they should be fine. Usually if you're going for a 5-day EEG, there's something that they want to find or that they've found already.
For the most part, MRIs, I've gone to sleep.
My last MRI was 12. And they said I had. That's when they diagnosed me with chronic migraines. Ooh, you need to go to sleep.
I'm gonna be up all night.
It looks like your bedtime.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay.
I've been taking little naps in between.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I will talk to you later. It's
All
been
right.
a nice video.
Tomorrow.
It's gonna be a long video.
Tomorrow is Tuesday. All hail Tuesday.
How long we been talking? I think like 2 hours.
I have no idea. I have no sense of time.
All right.
Good night.